The International Conference on African Development, Ticad 7, has come and gone, and so much sidelines have been proposed. Now the question is, who will relate the sidelines to the ordinary man on the street? Of course, the media. How will the media ensure that these sidelines are actualized? My guest, Gabriel Odu, from the media unit, Nigerians in Diaspora Commission, will provide answers. It's nice to have you in our studio.
Thank you, Elizabeth.
All right, let's talk about the outing. Fine, so many people have said it's a positive one, a worthwhile undertaking, interesting. But the issue is, are these sidelines visible?
The sidelines will not be visible immediately.
Okay.
But later on, if, and I said if, the deliverables, the takeaways are really taken home by those that participated, especially the Nigerian government. From the federal government, we have dignitaries, the state level, we have governors and other captains of industries attending the Ticad. What we should be looking at is how do we take the sidelines, the benefits back home and provide implementable strategies for the ordinary citizens to benefit. Well, let me tell you, Japan is home of technology and innovation.
Of course.
Right. And they are home to companies like Toyota, Suzuki. Maybe as at that time you were not born, those plants were in Nigeria. Why did they leave? They left because of what? Power. And let me say this. I have a professor called Michael Omeadi, a professor of business and management. He used to tell me that Nigeria's infrastructural development cannot witness a turnaround unless we invest on what is called power. He repeated power and power. So, the Ticad 7 deliverables will be visible if the media relentlessly, consistently focus their attention on beaming satellites on power to ensure that these companies, when they come to Nigeria, they will have an enabling environment to operate.
Okay. Now, let me take you back to the issue of investment.
Right.
Now, it's an open window for investors to come in to invest, not only in Nigeria, Africa. Now, we'll be having investors from all over the world. What does this portend for us as a nation?
Yes. And locally and interestingly, too, the president had a town hall conversation with Nigerians in diaspora.
Yes.
And incidentally, too, the chairman, Nigerians in Diaspora Commission, was also there. He met with the best brains from Nigeria. As I was watching, I saw one professor I know of, C.C. Jogo, is a scientist. And he had promised the president that they will bring investors. They will accompany these investors to invest not only in oil and gas, in agriculture and other sectors, especially in innovation, which is the focal point of this year's Ticad. So, what are we looking for? We are looking for FDI, foreign direct investment. So, what we do, government has already created the ease of doing business, economic recovery and growth plan. These are all strategies put in place to attract investors. So the media, what the media, in my perspective, don't always do is follow up mechanisms. After 3 months, let's remind government, I hope you are not forgetting the Ticad 7. How far have we gone after 3 months? Those are the focal points the media should be looking at, so that the man on the street will now understand. When you talk about Ticad, what is it about? What is it about? As soon as you mention Ticad, even if you have not gone to school, you will know It is about fast-tracking Africa's development through innovation and technology.
Okay, now let's talk about technology. The issue of Toyota plants coming to Nigeria.
Right.
Are we going to be assembling? Are we going to be manufacturing? And what does this portend for our young inventors coming up with electric cars?
You see, the issue here where I always say, let me give you this scenario. I have consistently maintained that there is what is called Western media imperialism.
Okay.
At Ticad, we never saw the BBCs, the Al Jazeera's, the CNN, the Fox News, the ABCs talking about Africa's development, Africa's participation. That conference is about Africa.
Yes.
But they were busy talking about their presidents, the likes of Trump and others. But they never focus on Africa. So, what are we saying? Development squarely lies on us. So Nigeria should focus on its diaspora scientists to drive the process. They have been there, they have seen it all. Encourage them, let them bring the investors, but then they demand it. Calm down. If there are assembly plants, are we including local content? If Toyota is coming to build assembly plants, is it strictly foreign based? It has to have local content so that a man on the street can get employment, can become a welder, can become a mechanic. In the process, create jobs. These are areas, silent areas, sidelines areas the media should focus on and keep reminding government, do not forget these deliverables. Don't make Ticad 7 a talk shop. Let's make a conference of action.
Conference of action.
Right.
Okay. And that is what actually every Nigerian is waiting for. How will it work? Will this deliver? Will these sidelines be delivered? What is the hope of a local manufacturer?
The local manufacturer will benefit because it will have multiplier effect.
Okay.
All right. If today you have a Toyota plant in Abuja, it's not only going to employ graduates, it's going to employ artisans, it's going to employ technocrats, it's going to employ technology-based people. Remember, like in Abuja, we have what is called mechanic village. Those guys will be useful. Nigerians, what we should do, we should encourage innovation. They are young and talented Nigerians. They are creating innovative equipment, innovative things that need to be encouraged. But with the presence of Toyota in Nigeria, this will come to stay. And like I said, it's going to be easier if government focuses its development on power, because it is going to be, technology is power driven. All right. So the man on the street who is a welder, the man on the street who is a mechanic, he needs power. So these are the areas that should be consistently hyped by the media. The media should go all out and see, keep reminding government, this is our pledge. This is what you brought back. Is this sustainable? What is the progress? You give us blow by blow account of the progress we are making. So that's what we also call in the media as follow-up mechanisms. If you have a story that you did a year ago or 3 months ago, you go back and look at it. You have to dust it, go back and see if there are new updates.
Updates or not.
Right.
Okay, now the issue of Niger Border also came up at the conference. What are we doing?
ECOWAS protocol.
Yes.
Sometimes I think that this issue of borderless communities, borderless countries for the ECOWAS is doing us more harm than good. That is why we've not been able to have a single currency. That is why we're having so much crime in the country. You see, you have open and porous borders. So, it is a worry. You said when Nigeria blinks, the other countries will, nearby countries, so to speak, they will know no sleep, you know. So what do? Brothers keeper at our own detriment, but there should be a middle ground to ensure that, you know, we protect the lives and property of Nigerians, as well as take care of our brothers in other side. So it's important that the president took up this matter. As we come back home, then the Nigerian immigration also has stepped up this game to ensure that it profiles all foreigners in Nigeria to know, do we have borderless countries? But borderless country is not a guarantee for crime.
Borderless countries, not a guarantee for crimes. How? I need you to explain that.
Yes.
Because most of our borders are porous.
I'll give you an instance. What I traveled by road from Lagos to Cotonou. When I got at the border in Cotonou, as I went as a diaspora correspondent or the foreign desk correspondent then, he just took my passport. I remained inside the car. I did not come out. I don't know what happened to the passport, and we drove past. Nothing. When we crossed, I asked the driver, why I have to go and show myself, he said no. He said free movement.
Okay.
You see the impression. So free movement does not mean that you should not check thoroughly who is entering another country. Benin Republic is a different country from Nigeria, but I went in unasked, unchecked, and I saw the same thing happening to other people. So that's why I said there's common borders. So, but it's not a guarantee. So they must do, whoever has the responsibility of checking the borders must check thoroughly. And whoever is crisscrossing, check properly.
Okay.
That is why I mean, borderless countries is not a guarantee for crime.
All right, Mr. Gabriel, thank you so much for your time. This is the much I can take. Thank you very much.
Thanks for the
Thank
privilege.
you so much. And we hope the media will help to ensure that these sidelines are actualized.